Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, January 5th. Just got off work just a little bit ago. I don't make New Year's resolutions. It's not the thing I do. You want to make a change, you make a change when you want to make a change. But if I did, then this year's would have been to watch more movies. I got a lot of movies. I got a big shelf full of movies. I've seen most of them. I've not seen all of them. The movies in there are almost exclusively not on that shelf. They're still in these binders because I haven't moved them, because I was like, I should watch the movies as I put them back in there. I want to watch movies. I have a bachelor's degree in filmmaking because growing up, I loved movies so much. I also have a little miniature shelf right here with a bunch of movies and some TV shows that are all quite a bit newer. That either I've not seen or that like I saw in theaters and then bought the Blu-ray of. But I've not seen, watched any of those since buying them. I've been thinking for a while, like, I want to watch more movies. Enough so that, like, that was definitely a thought when I put these shelves up, was I want to watch more movies. And if you remember, probably middle of last year, I put up these shelves, and I went on a trip to go look at furniture, because I was going to get, like, a couch, really like a love seat, but I was going to get a comfy couch here, so I'd have a nice spot where I could sit. I actually redid the layout of the room so that the TV was about 2 feet further over, closer to where the couch would be. It was all related to, I want to be able to have a couch, sit down, watch movies. That's what I wanted. I worked quite a bit to get that lined up. However, I think if I recall, I had a car issue shortly after that, so the money that I was going to spend on that went away. And then by the time I saved money back up, I had, was getting a gaming table, so that was the furniture expense, and I spent money on Dwarven Forge, and things kept coming up, and I don't have a couch still. I still don't. But part of the idea with the couch is I can do like a couch review of some movies where it'll give me something to talk about. I sit down, I watch a movie, I talk about the movie, do a little couch review, because I'd always do like the car reviews when I go see movies in theaters, and come up with a rating system that's different. Like in the car reviews, that's like me seeing a movie in theater. That's like an experience. And I give those like a rating out of 5 stars. I'll be like, let's come up with a different rating for these. Largely so that I could also re-rate a movie I've already rated before, because there's a different viewing. The mindset of when you go see a movie in a theater, that is you're watching this once, you're not pausing it, you are just sitting down and the movie is what you are doing. When you're watching it at home, there's different things. I'm a pause it when I need to. I'm a go get some snacks and be eaten while I'm watching. It's a different experience viewing a movie when you're at home. But I want to watch movies. So, I looked at the little shelf in there. It was like, a good movie to start with. Pete's Dragon. I loved this movie when I was younger. I haven't seen it in 15 to 20 years, probably. Yeah. So I'm going to watch Pete's Dragon. That was fun. And in my couch review, home review, whatever I want to call it, of Pete's Dragon, I give it, I'll say 7.5 out of 10 as a ranking. Because I enjoy math, and I want to make my ranking more complex. So home reviews, instead of a number of stars out of 5, it's a number of points out of 10. With Divisibles, which means really it could be like out of 100. But anyways, I give it 7.5 out of 10. It's been a long time since I've sat and watched that movie. So much of the songs, they carry such great heart. It's the music that carries the movie through. It's a very simple story. Interesting and funny. Definitely some great character acting. I mean, there are issues, like conflicts in the story. Most of them get wrapped up at the end, although Mickey Rooney's character, he doesn't really get a resolution for his drinking problem, other than, I guess he's not technically drinking at the end, but there's no actual resolution moment for that. Otherwise, you get resolution to the slavers that are trying to keep Pete as a slave, because they spent $50 plus 50 cents legal to buy the child as an orphan, so they own him. He's their slave now. I don't think how that's supposed to work. And then we get the long-lost sailor returning home. The town goes from, hating this kid for jinxing them to realizing the dragon is real and that the dragon can save them and has helped them. But really, it's the music that carries through. The music has such great heart. And the song that was Academy Award nominated, the Candle on the Water, is one of the ones, it's one of those ones where it's a moment in the story that as a kid I was always like, oh, this is the boring part. But now as an adult, I cry because it's a woman who's been waiting for the man she was engaged to marry to return from being lost at sea with no real reason to hold on to hope, but choosing to do so anyways. And it breaks my heart. It's like it was nominated for a reason, but as a kid I didn't really see it. As an adult, I do. As that part of the story definitely hits home more. And lots of just, cheap comedy with the Grugans, was it? The family that's basically trying to hold Pete as a slave. Lots of gags, throwing them into mud and water and tar and just making a mess of them and making a mockery of them. The doctor, whatever, the guy who's the snake oil salesman. He's long been one of the characters I remembered from growing up. I actually, a while back in a game, I'd use his dragon pots. Money, money, money by the pound. I'd use that to make dragons worthwhile. Got to part them out, sell all the bits. But I'd done it from the list in this movie. But it's quite a conniving character. Actually, it's two great and simple villain options. You get the people that basically are adopting an orphan to treat as a slave. Great villain for a game. And you get this conniving snake oil salesman. Gotta pull that in at some point. That's another great villain. Yeah. And I mean, just visually, it's definitely, it's cool sets, because I from my assessment, they used a lighthouse as a lighthouse and the little rocky beach below it. That was probably a location shoot, but I'm thinking even the town itself looks like a set. Fancy set, but a set. Definitely the swamp in the beginning for the opening scene. It's it's this great wilderness thing, but I'm it's a set. This is a stage piece. But they're beautiful. And because they are as such, they have all the gags built into them because, I mean, basically there is nothing there. As, some parts of it get animated in for the dragon, but much of it doesn't even get that because Elliot is often invisible. So it's just visually interesting stagecraft, basically, that is causing things to move and change. But I mean, this was, 1977. They did pretty good. It's pretty entertaining. But yeah, again, just going back to it, so much of the reason that I love the movie is the heart, the music and the heart. I love the songs. Song after song are great. I love you too. And I kind of wonder. And so I just went and called Mom to talk to her a bit because it stuck with me how much Elliot's is one of the ways that I talk. It is a silly way of talking, and it is not an efficient method of communication. I know it, but I do it. And as I watched it, I was just like, did I pick that up from this? And apparently, when I was young, when I was a kid, I watched this movie a lot. I remember liking and enjoying it as a kid, but I was on various medications throughout younger age for my attention deficit. I am missing a fair bit of my memory. A lot of my past from when I was, school age and younger, a lot of my memory is just gone. So I have bits and pieces, and I'm like, I knew that I watched and enjoyed this, but apparently her comment was that she remembers watching that with me over and over again. So apparently it might have had a significant influence on me, and maybe that is where I picked up that kind of language, but but that's cool. And she thought it was cool that I watched it again because she remembers how much I loved it. And I'm like, yeah, I still love it. Still a wonderful and joyful movie with great songs all around. Song after song after song after song. Wonderful. The opening song's alright. Everyone after that, wonderful. The opening song, the only reason my brain had told me that was the "We Got a Bill of Sale Right Here" song, and it's not. That song is much later in the movie. It's a different song by the same villains, and so I guess I was watching it just waiting for that line that never came. But it does definitely establish them as we're gonna lie and say we love you, but really, you're our slave, which is, wrong. But otherwise, I don't know. It's fun to watch a movie. Ideally, I'd watch a movie every week this year. Realistically, that's probably not going to happen. But it'd be cool if it did. I got plenty of movies to watch. And I'd like to watch more of them. Thank you for joining me, and join me as my journey continues. Bye.